Hello and welcome back to our Tunic playthrough. In our last video, we restored all our stats, and we started to solve the mysteries of this game. So I'm going to continue doing that today, starting with this. You can see a pattern on this wall, and if I trace it with the D-pad, you can see left, up, down, right, up, right, down, left. If I input that code with the D-pad, then something interesting is going to happen. That's going to release a trapped fairy from this chest. Now, if I release enough of them, we'll get a reward. Now, I've been piecing things together by studying the instruction manual before we went into today's video. And you can see there's a pattern on the floor here as well. So if I trace that with the D-pad, we should free another fairy. And again, if I free enough of these, we'll get a reward for doing so. Now, we will be finishing this game today. And after studying the instruction manual very thoroughly, at least the parts that I have, I don't want to say so much that we'll be beating this game, so much as solving this game. So you can see this tapestry on the wall, and it has another pattern. And putting that in the D-pad frees another fairy. Now you basically wander the overworld doing this until you've freed about 10 of them, and then it should give us a reward. I didn't know sleeping was an option, but I decided to try it. Oh, holy crap. So to get out of that ghostly night world, all you have to do is go to a bed and sleep. I guess we could have done this all along. Now I'm going to keep it in night mode because we've explored that less, and there's less enemies in the night version of the overworld. But if you want to get out of this mode and back to the daylight with all the enemies, all you have to do is find a bed and sleep. So our next puzzle is behind this waterfall. And I found this, and it took me a while to figure out how to unlock this one. But I'm going to show you the secret on how to get the fairy from here. Now you see that enemy walking down there? You can't actually get to him in any way. You're blocked from him. But the secret is actually that the directions he's walking in are your inputs for the D-pad. And if you enter them in the right order, then we should free another secret fairy. Now after doing this, I'm going to go collect the reward from getting these fairies. But you can see you just have to watch the directions he's walking in. And those are your D-pad inputs to unlock another hidden fairy. Okay, so I've gathered up 10 of these, and I'm gonna go find what we get for doing this. So behind another waterfall is actually where we're going to find the fairy fountain, where they're all kind of going to as we free them. That's actually going to be where we collect the reward. So it's kind of over here by this, where we found the dark cavern earlier. You'll actually find this area, and for freeing all those fairies, we get another page of the manual. And this just leads us to more secrets. You can see this game is very cryptic. So if you really want to get the proper ending of this game, you need to find the entire manual, it seems. Now, if you're not able to follow along with what I'm doing, you can always look up a guide on all of this online. So I'm basically flipping through to see what pages I'm still missing. I don't think there's many left. I think I'm just missing pretty much the cover page. There's actually a page in here that tells us if we fight the final boss, we'll basically be imprisoned in the same trap that we freed them from, and we'll become the air trapped for the next player. But if we find all the pages of the manual right here, then we'll actually be able to break the cycle and free the air and not get trapped ourselves. So if we find the last page being the cover page of this manual, then we should be able to free the air and break the cycle. So I gotta figure out how we find the final page. And there's a few puzzles left on a couple of these pages I gotta figure out. So I'm gonna study this a little bit, and once I figure it out, we'll go solve it and finish this game. You can see there's a combo of magic items to unlock a secret at the bottom. And there's a treasure room with a specific order. Now near the windmill, it looks like if we travel certain directions, we can unlock something there. There is so many puzzles. I don't think they've all even been figured out at the time of this recording. I think there's still things that nobody has solved in this game yet. Okay, so I figured it out. So the door that we saw at the top of the mountains, to open it, we have this code. So this code is actually page numbers. You can see this fox pointing at this golden line, and it's actually D-pad inputs. And then the next page is page 11 here, and you can see this golden line pointed down at the fox in that little picture. So these are actually D-pad inputs that you need to write down. So here would be write down, write up, write down. And then we flip back to our... Okay, so page 2 is the third one we need to look at. And you can see at the bottom here, we have this golden symbol, and that again is more D-pad inputs. So I need to flip through all these pages and write down all of these inputs, and then we're gonna go up to that door in the mountains, and we're gonna enter what looks like to be about like 50 different D-pad inputs in the right sequence to open that door. And I think that's gonna get us the final page of the manual, completing the manual and allowing us to complete the game and get the good ending. Now again, if you don't want to flip through all these pages and write down all these D-pad inputs using these golden lines and solving this puzzle, I'm pretty sure you could probably just find a guide online to do all of that. But it wouldn't be the same if I didn't solve this properly. So we're gonna head up to the door, and I'm gonna enter all those D-pad inputs. I'll cut a little bit of it out so I'm not just standing at a wall for 10 minutes pressing buttons, but I'll show you what happens when we open the door. Alright, so this is the big puzzle of the game, and it's the door that's not easy to open. I think a lot of players probably just fight the final boss and then assume that's the end of the game, but to open this door we had to solve this puzzle, and after entering about 50 different D-pad inputs, the sequence is actually crazy. This door will actually open. We've solved the last puzzle required to beat the game. Well, I almost prefer to say solve the game. Because if you actually beat the final boss, you'll get a bad ending and end up trapped as the new enemy for the next player to encounter. So it's kind of like the fox that we freed was the previous player who got trapped themselves. So we have the cover page of the manual and a note from the developer. Also signatures of the people involved in making the game. And it tells us to go visit a certain someone and share our wisdom. Now, if that certain someone was the previous player, then all the little notes in this notebook that we've been seeing would have actually been made by them. So this, in fact, would actually be their manual that we're returning to them. So we're gonna go see the heir and give them back their manual and hope that it breaks the cycle of all these foxes getting stuck and imprisoned in that trap for the next player to encounter. And I think that's going to give us the good ending based on what I've figured out solving this manual. Again, this is a series of puzzles to figure this all out. Also, like I said, because this is still a pretty new game, I'm pretty sure there's actually puzzles in that notebook that nobody has solved yet. So if you do end up playing this game, you could be the first person to solve new puzzles that none of us have figured out. So we just need to warp back to the fast travel hub, give the heir back their notebook, and that should end the game. Okay, so I think there's a fast travel portal just to the left of us, and also one near the start where we woke up on the beach. Yeah, this should take us there. I hope everyone watching is excited to see the good ending of this game. I certainly am. So if I'm right, we shouldn't get attacked this time because we have the full manual. If we were missing pages, they would attack us and we'd go into a final boss battle. Yeah, okay, this is different. Something new is happening here. So they reach for their sword again. But this time we have the manual, and it's their manual, so it reminds them that they were us in the last playthrough. I think they've realized that they made the bad ending and got stuck in the cycle. And we're finally actually freeing them. Cool, they turned back into a fox just like us. Well, we solved Tunic. Now, I'm guessing there's going to be a new game plus. Of course, it's got to tell us the end. But I'm guessing you can use all the knowledge you have and knowing where all the items are to solve the rest of this game's secrets and even potentially speed run the game, knowing everything we now know about the game and where things are hidden. I'm just interested in what it lets us keep from the playthrough going into a new one. Okay, so pretty much all our items are here and we're still at our full levels. It just takes away the 3 color keys and drops us back to the start of the game, so we could actually speed run this pretty quickly if we wanted to. Or just go back and solve the puzzles we've yet to figure out. And we have the full manual of the game now. So I hope you've enjoyed this playthrough, and I hope you'll come back to see what we're playing next on the channel. Thanks for watching our playthrough of Tunic, and bye for now.